Okay, let's get into our mountain pose for our warm-ups. So feet hip width apart, toes straight ahead, spread them out, no gripping. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder lined up. Activate your core, so bring your ribs towards your spine and up, and feel the spine lengthen and support your low back. Relax your arms, reach your head to the ceiling, close your eyes, and focus inward. Drawing energy and awareness, and exhale stress and tension. And just keep that inner focus, noticing how your body is responding, doing what's right for you today. Inhale your arms to shoulder level, stretch the fingertips out, hands to your heart, stretch out to the front, keep those shoulders down. Clasp your hands behind you, press them to the floor, lift your heart. And stretch your spine as you're in that little back bend. Pivot at your hips, exhale on over as deeply as you need. And lift your sitting bones for a stretch on your legs. Move your chin around to release your neck. And don't forget to breathe. Spread your toes, bend your knees slightly, lift your ribs and drop your sitting bones, winding from the bottom of the spine all the way back and up into the back bend, just gently through that upper back. Stretch your head away, but don't lift your chin too high. Keep stretching that neck. And then inhale upright, release your arms, and take a moment focusing inward. Feel your spine more activated. And again, arms at shoulder level. Bring your hands to your heart, stretch out to the front, and clasp the opposite way behind you. So shift those fingers in one position over. Lift your heart, stretch your head back, and pivot over as you exhale. And again, deepen as much as you'd like, letting everything stretch and release. And once more, bend your knees slightly to work your way back from the bottom of the spine up into the upper body back bend. And again, just keep stretching the neck through the whole spine. Breathe in that moment and don't forget to relax. Inhale upright, release your arms and focus inward. Feel your body responding and get ready for our side stretches. So one arm down, the other arm out, palm to the ceiling, hand over your shoulder. Pull your shoulders down, reach your fingertips out and lean to the side, no twist. Push the foot you're leaning away from down, get those ribs stretching apart, and don't forget to breathe. Inhale upright, release that arm, feel the difference on the two sides, and bring the other arm out, palm to the ceiling, hand over your shoulder. Keep the shoulders down, stretch the hands away as you slide to the other side. And again, push the foot down for that extra rib opening as you stretch. And then inhale back upright and release. Feel the sides more open and then really open the spine for our twist. So make sure those bones separate, giving you room to turn. Arms at shoulder level, hands to the ceiling and over your shoulders. Clasp your elbows, bring your arms next to your ears, straighten things out and stretch open and turn to one side. Spread your toes, stretch up and exhale over in the twist. So deepen as much as you'd like, keeping the weight on both feet as evenly as you can. Arms still not by your ears and sitting bones lifting. And then in the twist, work your way up. And make sure you only work the upper body into the back bend, not your lower back. Elbows back slightly, shoulders down, and lift your heart. Inhale upright, exhale around to the center, switching your arms. Stretch your spine apart again, and turn to the other side. Another breath, and pivot on over as you exhale. Deepen as far as you'd like to go. Lift your sitting bones for that stretch on your legs. And keep the weight on both feet. Spread your toes and work your way back up into that upper body only back bend. Take a moment and breathe. Kind of lift your ribs a little bit and pull your shoulders down. Again, feel the stretch as you inhale up, exhale around to the center. Keep the shoulders down, fingertips up toward the ceiling. Come up on one side, up on the opposite toe. Get that stretch going through your side. Release down and do the other side up. Keep the shoulder down even as you're stretching. And then both feet down, both arms up, arms by your ears, pivot forward. Push the sitting bones back behind you. Stretch the fingertips forward and the crown. And then drop into ragdoll. Just take a moment and hang. Hold your toes with your index and middle fingers and thumb, and then straighten your knees and your spine and your arms into gorilla. Stretch it out. And then release back into ragdoll. Knees slightly bent. And again, wind all the way up. Shoulders back and down. Coming into your mountain pose once more. Take a moment there, feel your body. Turn your toes slightly out. Keep your hips over your ankles and your knees over your ankles and below your hips. And bring your hands to your heart. Inhale up, looking at your thumbs. Bring them back behind you. Exhale. Bend your knees as you bring your hands to your heart. Pivot on over, bend your knees, bring your hands all the way down to the floor. And then bring your hands back all the way up to your hips and back to your heart. Again, inhaling, a little back bend, hands to your heart. Exhale, pivot over, bend your knees, reach down to the floor, palms flat as much as you can. And then coming back up. And then we'll just go straight into frog. So it's still feet hip width apart, bend slightly out, bring your hands down, bending your knees and coming up. Remember, knees not beyond your toes. So pull those sitting bones back as you come exhaling down and inhaling up. So you're that frog squatting down and coming back up. And you can do it slowly like this, or you can go a little faster if you like. You want to be in that Kundalini mode, energizing and exaggerating the breaths and the movements. So just get those knees working today, get that body working, hips going back, and arms going up and down, feeling those shoulders move back as you come back into your standing position. And then exhale. Slow down, inhale, coming back up, and release your arms. Take a moment there, still toes turned out, your whole leg turned out as you're in that position. Bring your arms out, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulders, and turn your toes to the front. Come into that extended mountain. Reach way up, swan dive forward. Pivot halfway down, stretch it out, and then drop into ragdoll. Take a moment there, pulling in a little deeper with your hands behind your legs if you want that back to stretch more. And then hands back to the center and wind your way up. Take a moment and breathe. Exhaling into mountain pose. Relax the shoulders. Activate the core, arms out, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulders, and stretch up through your head and fingertips. Bend your knees toward, not beyond your toes. Push the sitting bones back, come into your chair squat. So go only as deeply as your body wants to go with your knees bent. And remember, don't push them beyond your toes. That can overwork your knees. Stretch the spine straight and long. Breathe into it. Squat maybe a little further if that works for your knees. And then lead with your fingertips. Inhale your way back up. Keep the shoulders down and release into mountain pose. Feel your body a little bit more energized once more. And then find your balance foot. Yeah, we'll do a little balance practice today. So go ahead and spread your toes on your balanced foot. Get the base of the toes, ball of the foot connected, and the heel, but not the toes themselves. Spread them out. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder lined up. Remember, you want to make sure that that alignment is appropriately supporting you. Ribs in and up for that core support at your lower back, shoulders back and down. Bring your other foot up a little or more or toward your heart. Find your balance. And then circle your ankle as always, getting our flexibility working. And straighten the foot out, putting it back down, shifting to the other side. Spread the toes, again, getting a nice support. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder lined up, core active, shoulders back and down, and sink into your foot. Bring the other foot up as far as it wants to go today. And again, finding your balance. Go ahead and circle both ways. Flex and point. And bring the foot back into mountain pose. Hands to your heart. Look at your fingers, bringing them up and a little back down as you stretch your spine. Swan dive forward, pivoting at the hips once more, and down into ragdoll. Slide up into your halfway up stretch, and bend your knees, coming once more to our child pose transition. Hips back on your heels, hands palms up, and forehead to the floor. Take a breath or two, just relax, and stretch your spine. Chin tucked in, sitting up on your heels. Let's go into a little baby camel. Bring your hands under your shoulders to the floor and press into your hands gently as you lift your heart and your hips, coming into just a stretch, opening through the chest. Take a moment there, feel those thighs stretch a little bit as well. And then hips back onto your heels, sitting back up on your heels and slide off into staff position. Feet out to the front, press out through your heels, pull the toes back and get those sitting bones slightly behind you. Hips and shoulders lined up, core still supporting that low back. Reach your head to the ceiling and don't forget to breathe. And we'll do our little hip warm up. So bring one foot to that upper thigh and let your knee come down. Feel the outside of the hip getting a little bit of work. Let it relax. If that's tight today, remember you can bring the leg over to the side. Keep the toes and knee up toward the ceiling. And you can pad behind you if that helps. And again, don't press with your hand. Just let gravity pull that knee down toward the floor a little bit more if it wants to. Letting that hip get a little bit more open for today. Take a moment and breathe as you let it relax. And when you're ready, bring the foot and knee into your hands or bring your arms around and pull the leg in closer for your rotation side to side. So get that hip warming up. Just let it relax. If that's working and you love it, you can bring it higher or closer or not. Your choice, personal practice. And then release and bring the foot back out. Feel the difference on the two sides. Remember, your yoga is watching what's going on within you. So again, check your core activation, check your alignment, check your stretch through your spine, and bring the other foot up to balance. So again, letting the knee drop down toward the floor, other leg straight out or over to the side if it wants to be a little more open. And don't forget to breathe. Again, you can add weight of your hand, but no pressure, never push. That's just going to resist. Let things relax, deepening as much or as little as your body needs today. Exhaling any tension. Stretching your spine, focusing inward. And again, either bringing your foot and hand and knee into your hands or pulling it in and rotating side to side. Get that outer joint working. But just feel the hip, let it relax, let it release and open as much as you need. Keep your shoulders over your hips and relaxed. And then releasing that leg, coming back into staff position, stretch up through your crown and bring your hands to your sides. Take a moment to breathe and then bring one foot to your inner thigh, knee out to the side, hands at your sides. Stretch up through the crown, relax down through the shoulders, and bring the arms out to T position, palms toward the ceiling, hands over your shoulders. Exhale, hands to your shoulders, sink down into your sitting bones, and inhale up, fingertips reaching, pressing out through your heel. Oh, go ahead, exhale down again, really sink into the sitting bones. Inhale and stretch it up. And this time, pivot at your hips. Exhale, reach for your foot or your leg or the floor. And you can hold it, or you can just put your hands down wherever they fall. Push the sitting bones slightly behind you. Get that pivot at your hips a little bit more emphasized. And lead your chest down toward your leg. Stretch your head toward your toes. Keep the back as straight as you can, stretching open. And exhale, maybe deepen a little further toward your leg. And then bring your arms next to your ears. Pull the shoulder blades back toward your waist. And inhale, pivoting back to upright. Exhale the arms out and down to the floor. Lift your knee and bring that other leg back to the center. Back in staff position, feel your body. And of course, we'll balance and do the other side. So sitting bones behind you, bring that foot to your inner thigh, hands at your sides, and relax your shoulders down. Take a moment, pressing out through your heel. Bring your arms out to shoulder level, palms toward the ceiling, hands right above your shoulders. Keep the shoulders reaching down. Pull your fingertips and head up. Exhale, sink down into your sitting bones, hands to your shoulders, and then inhale and stretch. And another sinking, exhaling down. And then really, really stretch up this time, but keep the shoulders down. And exhale, pivoting at your hips. And again, reach for that foot or leg or floor. Press out through the heel. Reach the head toward your toes and up toward the ceiling. Keep the spine nice and straight. Stretch it out. Exhale, sink back through the sitting bones, bringing them back. Bring your chest maybe a little further toward the leg. The back of the leg, let it stretch along the floor. Kneecap toward your thigh. Remember, letting that back of your leg release. And then arms next to your ears again. Shoulders blades pulling back. And inhaling, coming all the way back upright. Exhale your hands down. Lift your knee and bring the leg out to the front. Again, taking a moment, just feel your body. Exhale any tension and coming to butterfly. So feet together, knees out toward the sides. Clasp under your toes and pull the heels in as far as they want to go toward you. And reach your chest forward and up and your shoulders and shoulder blades down and back. And just let the knees reach toward the floor as much as they want to. Take a moment there, just breathe and relax. Exhale tension, bringing your hands under your shoulders behind you. Fingertips down or palms down, whatever works for you. Press just gently into the floor, lifting your heart. Maybe feel those legs relax a little bit further. And releasing through that inner thigh. Bring your chest open, shoulder blades down, crown toward the ceiling. Take a moment there, just breathing, feeling your body opening, releasing any tightness. And then releasing the hands next to you, bring them out to shoulder level, palms down. Turn the palms up, hands over your shoulders. Stretch up. Exhale, sink down into your sitting bones, hands to your shoulders. Inhale and stretch. And again, exhaling down, hands to your shoulders, and inhale and stretch up. Pivot forward, exhaling, bring your chest toward your toes, your arms by your ears, and then drop your hands straight out in front onto the floor. Take a moment there, feel those inner thighs, let them release. Bring that chest maybe a little further toward your feet. Reach your head in the direction your fingers go. And don't forget to stretch that spine. And then bring your arms next to your ears again. Inhale, shoulders down as you pivot back upright, arms out and down. Take a moment there, stretch your spine open, lift your knees, and bring your legs out into step position. Take a moment there. And we're coming up onto our hands and knees into table position. So wrists, elbows, and shoulders lined up. Spread your fingers, get good support through your hands. As you're in that position, lift your ribs, get your hips right above your knees, and the low back supported by that contraction through your abdominals just slightly. And then inhale, drop your ribs down toward the floor, lift your face to the front, and chest forward as you come into that sway back bend as deeply as you'd like. So a little cat. And just sinking. Exhale, come into your angry cat, Halloween cat, lifting those ribs and shoulder blades up toward the ceiling. Tuck in your chin, tuck down with your sitting bones, and feel that arch. And inhale, coming back to neutral, stretch your spine, lengthen through the whole back as you turn and look over one shoulder back toward your foot. Take a moment there, bringing that hip and shoulder maybe a little bit closer. Feel the stretch on the opposite side. Keep the back flat, come back to the center, stretch it open again, and exhale, turn to the opposite direction. Again, look back toward your toes. And feel that hip and shoulder maybe reaching toward each other as the other side stretches apart. And then exhale again, back flat, coming back to the center and stretch it open. And we'll go into our twist. Remember, you can circle your wrists anytime you need to. We're taking the left hand palm up and sliding it through. Bring your head and shoulder to the floor, not your neck. And reach the elbow toward the ceiling on that palm down hand. Stay there for that nice twist if you like that version. If you want a little bit more low back work, you can bring your right foot near your left hand and press out through the heel. Head and shoulder are on the floor. If you want to, you can go a little further into the twist, rolling onto the back of your head as you bring your right hand up above your shoulder to the ceiling. Remember, this gets balancy if you bring that arm behind you into the twist even deeper, so don't go too far. Push the hand and foot away if you're fully extended in version 3, but remember, you don't have to go there ever. Take a breath or two. Just relax. And then if your hand is up, bring it back down. If your leg is out, bring it back in. Press into your right hand, threading the left needle hand into our table position. Take a moment there, feel your body. Just going to turn around so I'm facing you as I do the opposite side. So once again, wrists, elbows, and shoulders lined up, knees and hips lined up, core active, stretch your spine apart, sitting bones and crown apart as you bring the right hand through. So head and shoulder down, take a moment there, just getting comfortable in that twist position. Bring your elbow up if you want to stay there. Or if you want that full extension in the lower body, you can bring that left foot near your right hand. Take a moment and breathe. Keep the side of your head and your shoulder on the floor, not your neck. Stay there if that's where you want to be, or bring the left hand to the ceiling. And again, stretch it open, or maybe even into a twist further with that hand lowering slightly behind you. Once more, make sure you don't go too far and unbalance in this kind of bouncy twist on the floor. Shoulder and head are supporting you. You can roll slightly onto the back of your head if you go further with the arm, but don't go too far. And again, just breathe into it, feel the twist, let it release through the whole spine as you exhale, always releasing into it, not tightening or resisting. If your hand is up, you can bring it back down. If your leg is up, bring it back in. And of course, press into that hand as you unthread back into your table position. Take a moment there, sink back, hips toward your heels, hands sliding forward, forehead down toward the floor, coming into your child pose extension. Moment and release those shoulders, bringing the hands back toward your feet, and sit up and slide off, coming into your staff position at the end of the mat. Release any tension, stretch up through your spine, keep the activated core for support as you lower your body onto the floor. Take a moment and breathe. Hands next to you, palms up, toes toward each other, just releasing your feet, relaxing your shoulders down, coming into corpse position for your final relaxation. So take a moment there, breathe and relax. Exhale, let your whole body sink. Slide your sitting bones slightly toward your heels. Bend your knees, bring the heels in right next to your sitting bones. Press your back down, bring your feet up off the floor. Grasp your big toe with your index finger and middle finger and thumb. And then bring your feet up straight toward the ceiling. And then press the knees out into your arms, coming into happy baby. So if you want to stay in happy baby for your relaxation, you can do that. Otherwise, we're just going to hold this for a couple of breaths, just releasing and relaxing. And if you're like a baby and you want to roll a little bit side to side and give yourself a massage on that lower back, that might feel good for you today. Take a moment to breathe and relax. And just letting the shoulders droop into the floor. Exhale any tension. And if you're not staying in happy baby, bring your feet back together and bend your knees. Bring your hands to the floor and your feet down next to your sitting bones. And slide out into corpse position. Hands palms up at your sides and toes together and just releasing. Let your whole body relax, deepen into that surface beneath you. Just feel the circulation through your back, through your body, breathing, releasing any tension in the shoulders, just letting them sink. And allow your body to soften and deepen into its earth support in whichever position you're in today. Exhale and relax. And let your body just sink, releasing and relaxing completely as you allow your mind to release thoughts of your body. And as those thoughts release, let other thoughts release as well, deepening into your inner awareness. There's no need to remember the past or anticipate the future. Know that it's the job of your mind to produce thoughts, but it's your choice whether you pay attention. At this moment, just let the thoughts drift in and out without attention. No need to think of any content or your body. Just let the thoughts drift and your body relax and your awareness turn inward to the peace within. Breathe into the peace and take a few moments being peace. Keep relaxing as long as you have time and opportunity today. But if it's time to get ready for the rest of your day, just begin drawing energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the room, to your body. Breathing more deeply, just stretch a little bit more completely as you bring that awareness back to the moment. If you're still unhappy, baby, just go ahead and move your baby side to side. If you're on the floor in corpse, just draw your heels toward your hips and your knees up toward your heart. Wrap your arms around. Bring your knees in toward your heart. And give yourself that appreciative yoga hug in whichever position you're in today. Let your body know you appreciate its yoga work today and the work your body does for you every day. And when you're ready to release, bring your head and feet to the floor as you roll to the side and sit back up, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you today. Thanks for joining me.